Wir werden kurz zur Erinnerung des Inventar anschauen. Die Kunst, die Menschen aus ihren Gesichtszügen zu erkennen, +1 in Psychologie. Permanent, falls wir zum nächsten Kapitel kommen, wir haben die Möglichkeit, +1 Punkt in Wissenschaft. Das hätte uns natürlich jetzt schon geholfen. Mit dem Schwarzpulver können wir aber nicht mehr einsetzen. Wir haben die Tasche unserer Mutter. Wir haben den Brief. Mutters Taschentuch. Können wir das noch weiter anschauen? Nein, trägt nur die Initialien. Das Taschentuch von Emily. Ja gut, immer gut, mehrere Taschentücher zu haben. Und die Einladung von Mortimer. Daraus ergibt sich nichts weiter. Nicht in die Sache bringen, das werden wir als Detektiv tun. Notizen. Wir sind bestimmte Personen schon begegnet. Im Moment aber noch nicht so entscheidend. Der Diener hat die Schwäche Logik und eine weitere Stärke oder Schwäche, die wir noch nicht kennen. Immunität gegen Logik, das sollten wir uns merken, dass bei Emily unsere Stärke eine Schwäche ist. Deriche Louis, das sind wir, keine Stärke, keine Schwäche. Piaggi. Wir werden uns, falls es wichtig wird, die einzelnen Personen noch genauer anschauen können. Die Karte haben wir schon, Charaktere. Stufe 1 Detektiv hat sich nichts verändert. Talente sollten wir uns anschauen, die machen uns es leichter. Ja, da müssen wir aber bestimmte Voraussetzungen erfüllen. Was haben wir hier? Die Anzahl der falschen Optionen wird halbiert, erreiche Stufe 3 in Aufmerksamkeit sowie Stufe 2 in Befragung. Wir bekommen also, wenn wir einem Strang, also Detektiv, treu bleiben, noch zusätzliche Punkte. Was haben wir noch? Archäologie, alles mögliche. Ja, müssen wir entsprechend mal freischalten. Momentan gibt es hierfür keine Entscheidungen zu treffen. Eigenschaften, charismatisch, 1 Punkt in Manipulation, gezeichnet in Überzeugung und Detektiv. So sei es. Hier liegt noch was am Boden.
Latin inscription. Enes, mi fili quantilia produncia mundus ergatur.
Text übersetzen gelingt uns nicht. Autismus nicht erlangt und Sprachen nicht erlangt. Ja, Sprachen würde ich gern haben als Detektiv, vor allen Dingen, wenn es schon so losgeht, dass wir hier am Eingang auf Fremdsprachige treffen.
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
Vermutlich viel Geld. Wo hat er das viele Geld her?
Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara Derice, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Konfrontation. Während einer Konfrontation musst du durch mehrere Phasen gehen und dabei so überzeugend wie möglich bleiben. Konfrontationen wirken sich auf den Verlauf der Geschichte aus, daher solltest du bei Bedarf auch deine Fertigkeiten einsetzen. Bei jeder Konfrontation wird grafisch angezeigt, wie sehr du die Person, mit der du redest, überzeugen konntest.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Ja,
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
Only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is commendable. But as we work together on a daily basis, it is surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
hat uns ja gerade verraten, dass Diskretion eine der wichtigsten Dinge ist. Deswegen halte ich es nicht gerade für sinnvoll, hier reinzupoltern. Aber wir können zurück. Ich würde dann doch mir gerne mal anschauen, was wir über den Herrn Piaggi wissen. Seine Eminenz Kardinal Giuseppe Piaggi ist ein Gesandter von Papst Pius VI. Giuseppe Piaggi, ein überaus fähiger Redner, hat seine gesamte Laufbahn dem Dienst der Prinzipien der römisch-katholischen Kirche gewidmet. Piaggi, seines Zeichens ein Mann der Wissenschaft und Freizeitphilosoph, konnte schnell in der Gunst des Papstes aufsteigen, der ihn im Geheimen zum Kardinal in pectore ernannte. So konnte er sein Vertrauensverhältnis mit Papst Pius VI. Nutzen und ihn bei seiner schwierigen Mission unterstützen, die Gläubigen zu führen. Nach der Einladung durch Sir Gregory Home freut sich Piaggi sehr darauf, seinen alten Freund Mortimer zu treffen und ihm gegenüber die Interessen des Heiligen Stuhls zu repräsentieren. Der Stärke-Schwäche von ihm wissen wir nichts. Wie gesagt, ich halte es nicht für sinnvoll, unsere Mitgliedschaft im
If you know my mother, you will understand that I cannot answer you, Your Eminence. I'm sorry, but...
Do not worry, my son. I perfectly understand, and I expected nothing less from you. Discretion and secrecy are both pillars of the organizations for which we work. You are the worthy son of Sarah.
All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Only you know that, Your Eminence. If you're asking me if you can trust me, or if I can keep a secret, I would answer yes, absolutely.
I understand.
In truth, it all depends on the nature of the contents of your letter.
It is a list of names.
This list must be of extreme importance.
If only you knew. It's a list of people that your mother must help. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Konfrontation, letzte Phase. In der letzten Phase einer Konfrontation musst du die Person, mit der du redest, überzeugen, indem du die passenden Dialogoptionen auswählst. Wenn du dich falsch entscheidest, wird die Phase so lange wiederholt, bis du die richtige Option wählst oder keine Fehler mehr möglich sind. Ja, wir haben bislang ja keine gemacht. Fangen wir mal nicht damit an.
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, Let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur Derice. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
Verborgene Elemente. Viele Hinweise und Gegenstände sind nicht sofort ersichtlich. Manche von ihnen wirken sich auf dein Abenteuer aus, deswegen solltest du stets die Augen offen halten. Wir haben den Brief bekommen, wir wissen im Wesentlichen ja auch, was drin steht. Es gibt keinen Grund zu zweifeln, dass das die Wahrheit war, was er uns da gesagt hat mit der Liste. Wir werden niemanden dieser Namen kennen. Wir werden den Brief an Mutter geben, auch das kommt ja eh mit unserem Ziel zusammen. Ich schaue mich hier kurz um, auch wenn da Personen reden, mit denen wir uns auch unterhalten wollen. Einfach um sicher zu gehen, dass wir nichts übersehen. Nichts. Hier liegt was auf dem Tisch. Ein Buch.
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Das sind weitere Gegenstände, die unserer Aufmerksamkeit bedürfen. Hier nichts.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Riche. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you'll forgive my indiscretion?
Wieder Diskretion ist das Wichtigste. Deswegen werden wir einfach das neutral
At the
halten.
risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur Derice's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Horn, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Auch das müssen wir ihm nicht offenbaren. Ich glaube, er behalte einige Dinge mal lieber für uns.
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good Lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the Order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man from my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat. Very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer. So don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I have already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this Holm. I saw him in my vision.
So verlockend es ist, mit dem Präsidenten und einem Anführer des Goldenen Ordens zu sprechen. Er weiß sicher nichts über die Mutter. Ob der andere was weiß, wissen wir auch nicht, aber ja, wüsste nicht, was Washington uns hier weiterbringt.
My vision is more important. Let's follow home.
I'll follow you, sir. Mr. Washington, I hope to speak with you at greater length on another occasion. Emily, please excuse me, but I would like to speak to Sir Holm. I shall see you later.
My friend, I hope our dear Giovanni is well.
The troubles in France have fatigued him, but he will recover slowly. Do not fear. He apologizes for remaining in Rome. The voyage was too much for him.
And right he was too. The mildness of the Mediterranean, eh? Come, sit down and have something to eat, my friend. You look rather pale. Excuse me, sir. I have been neglecting my duty. I haven't introduced myself. Sir Gregory Holm, an old friend of Lord Mortimer's.
A real pleasure, sir.
You who must be well used to the court of France. How do you find this peaceful little haven?
Charming if I hadn't come here for disturbing reasons.
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Indeed. I wanted to ask you. You seem to know my mother well. Is that true?
Who does not know of her, sir? She has such a wide circle that everyone knows your mother from a distance or close up.
Everyone knows Sarah, my son.
But you only know her by her reputation.
I remember she once worked for the Crown of England and that she always honors her engagements. However, we have never been personally introduced, sadly.
Well, if I'm to believe my vision, you're not going to get along with her.
Thank you for your answers, Sir Holm. But I beg your pardon. I get the impression I know you. Have we met?
Except in my dreams, of course.
Not that I remember, young man. Perhaps you're mistaking me for another member of the Chamber of Lords. And what with the wig and the powder, it wouldn't be the first time.
No, you were definitely the one I saw threatening my mother.
I thought... Never mind. It'll come back to me. Would you allow me one last question, sir? I don't want to take up all your time.
Please, go ahead. What do you want to know?
Was wollte meine Mutter hier? Was haben Illustere und meine Mutter miteinander zu tun? Ist außer meiner Mutter noch jemand verschwunden? Das wird mir ja gar nicht offenbar momentan. Obwohl, er hat uns die Einladung ja geschickt.
Do you know if anyone else has gone missing recently?
Not at all, sir. It's as if Sarah has purely and simply vanished into thin air.
That's right. Just take me for an idiot, why don't you?
Not even a servant, then?
Not even a servant. I can assure you, we would have been informed.
Keep your faith, my son. Only the celebrated Sara Derice could vanish before our very eyes, and she will reappear. You will see.
No!
Elizabeth! Elizabeth?
I should have insisted that you rest in your room.
Do you want me to call someone?
Let me handle this. I'm used to this kind of thing. Miss, can you hear me?
Leave me.
Her breathing is becoming stable and... her heart rate too.
Pale complexion, thin, broken nails, an enormous scar on her temple, tattoos on her hands. I don't know what happened to you, Missy, but it looks like you've been through hell.
Can you tell me something about her? Who is this young lady?
Elizabeth Adams. She's come to the island for a course of treatment, to rest.
For a course of treatment?
That's right. The seer can do wonders. Are you all right, Elizabeth? Do you feel any better?
When did she arrive?
4 days ago.
Okay. My mother had already gone missing. She's just regained consciousness and she immediately reaches for her brooch? I don't know exactly what it means to her, but obviously it's got to be something important.
Are you all right, Elizabeth? You gave us quite a fright.
Take it easy, miss.
Let me... I just need to get back to my room.
Of course, my dear. Go ahead. You saw it, didn't you?
Pardon me?
Il segni della bestia.
Sorry, Your Eminence. I don't speak Italian.
Forget it. It doesn't matter.
Gentlemen, it's getting late. It is time for everyone to go to bed. It has been a long day.
In der Tat war es ein langer Tag.
It's all the more delicate.
I'll see what I can do, but the case I'm on at the moment might well leave me with very few opportunities.
Elisabeth wird aufs Zimmer gebracht. Wir haben nochmal eine Möglichkeit.
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Oh, it's naughty to tell lies. Bet my life that you were talking about something totally different from the decoration of the manor. But, to find out what, I should have stayed with them. Too bad.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
So, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Just mentioning Elizabeth totally changed Washington's attitude. Looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence.
Washington looks surprised, but Holmes doesn't seem to see it. I wonder if he's being polite or if he really doesn't see his discomfort.
On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Es gibt nahezu keine Möglichkeit, eine kurze Pause einzulegen.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Oh man, it's been quite a day. Right, where is my room?
Ja, es war wirklich ein anstrengender Tag, viele neue Informationen und es wird wohl Zeit, dass wir uns hinlegen. An dieser Stelle unterbrechen wir auch diese Episode, aber ich bin schon ganz gespannt, wie es weitergeht. Der Beginn zeigt uns viele Möglichkeiten auf, vor allen Dingen die junge Dame, die jetzt auch noch da ist. Der Herr Holm, der ist mir nicht sonderlich sympathisch, weiß ich noch nicht, in welche Richtung das gehen wird. Für heute war es das aber erstmal. Morgen werden wir uns daran machen, noch ein bisschen mehr die Umgebung zu erkunden und vielleicht das Geheimnis zu lösen. Also es war ein langer Tag, schlaft gut und bleibt gesund.